We're going to do yoga 60 minutes. So grab a foam roller. I always like to have a little bit of a nice oolong tea this morning. It's quite lovely. All right. I have brought my foam roller to class. I also have a yoga strap. I have a nice little yoga tune-up ball. And maybe let's start with that. Let's start with the ball. This is a little different than a yoga tune-up ball. It has little spikes on it, but go right ahead and grab your yoga tune-up ball, your tennis ball, and let's just roll out the bottom of our feet, which is going to give us vitality and some opening in those feet to kind of plant them into your mat, to the earth, so that you have this dynamic, lovely stretching going on. I'm just rolling out the left foot. I just rolled out the right foot. I might go back, either or. There's so many different little crevices and in between on the pad of the toe, to the heel of the toe, to the inside arch, to the outside arch. I love it. So if you are just coming to class, roll out your feet a little bit. As you're doing some nice deep breathing, balancing on that opposite foot. I'm going to put that right foot down a minute and have my legs hip width apart and just pause a moment here and just kind of like close my eyes and feel the aliveness of this right foot into the mat. More alive than the left, although I did roll out the left a little bit. And now I'm going to open up my eyes and I'm going to roll out that left foot a little bit, pressing into the mat. I'm just going to bring this ball up close to you. They're so wonderful, the little spiky ball. They feel awesome on your feet, on your arms. Also, you can take the ball, or you can just take your hands and hit your arms a little bit. Hit the chest, hit your belly, just kind of waking up the body, hitting it all the way down, lifting the legs up. I'm going to continue on this left foot a little bit because it just seems like it needs a little bit more as I'm stepping on the heel and coming up to a high heel. And I kind of straighten that right leg too, but then straighten that left leg, and you can kind of feel the hips moving up, down. I'm going to take my sweater off here because I'm heating up a little bit. I have the heater on. It's a little chilly this morning. So I always suggestions, little suggestions for your yoga and Pilates is I took a really hot shower this morning. I also have a hot tub. I like to warm up my muscles with moist heat, hot heat, water. All right. And then you can just take that ball and you can hit your body, shoulders, under the arms, back, around, chest, around the belly. It's such good waking up the nervous system. Go back behind the back a little bit. Be gentle on the neck, but you can tap the neck a little bit, and then go up a little bit into the kidney area. I'm going over to my hips. This just feels yummy. I like it. And coming down to the front of the legs, to the back, hammies, calf. Beautiful. All right, let's put the ball away. And we're going to start with our foam roller. And we're just going to have the foam roller right out in front of us. And we're just going to do some little marching where you're going to lift up the knee as high as you can get that knee going. And we're just going to do this for probably like a minute. Just some nice, easy marching, standing up tall, reaching the arms. Maybe you reach the arms above the head with the foam roller. Whew. And then you bring it down right in front of you and lifting up those legs, opening them to the side if that feels good to you. I love it. Back to the front, going up a little higher, reaching up again with the foam roller, and then drawing it down in front. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Just put that foam roller right in front of you. The palms are nice and wide, and they're right in front, fingers facing down, your feet are hip width apart. We're just going to do some roll downs and rolling back up nice and easy. So you're going to inhale, exhale, chin to chest, and think about just one vertebrae at a time, bending and rolling where you come to a forward fold. Let the hands drop a little bit, the foam rollers right at your ankles. Drop that head, look in between the knees. Inhale down at the bottom. Exhale, start to roll up and press those legs into the mat. Into the mat. I have my knees slightly bent. They're not completely straight. And now, last thing to come up was the head. We're going to do 3 more, so 4 altogether. Inhale. Exhale, rolling down, chin to chest. Tuck that belly back towards the spine. Dropping down. Ooh, I'm going a little bit further. I'm also bending my knees. And then inhale. Exhale, start to roll up. Foam roller right in front of you. Last thing to come up is the head. That's number 2. Inhale again. Exhale, rolling down. Number 3, chin to chest. The whole point is trying to stay kind of tight and narrow with your forward fold. And then inhale, exhale, roll up. And then our last one, I'm going to turn to the side. Inhale. Exhale, roll on down, chin to chest. Pausing a moment at the bottom. Bend the knees, straighten the knees, whatever feels good to you. And then inhale. Exhale, press into the mat with those feet. Press into the mat, press, 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 press. And coming up to standing. Woo, beautiful. All right, foam roller right in front, and we're going to twist to the right. Think about your hips kind of facing forward a little bit. Press the left arm into that foam roller so that you get a bit of more of a twist in the thoracic. Bring it back to center, and now twist to the left, and then press that right hand into the foam roller back to center. We'll do 4. Here we go. Over to the right, and back to center, into the left, and back to center, and to the right, and back to center, and to the left, and back to center. 2 more. Over to the right. I said 4, but I want to do 6 because it's feeling really good in my shoulders. And last one to the right, and back to center, and then to the left, and back to center, and then foam roller comes down right in front. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up with the foam roller. Look up at the foam roller. And now draw it behind the head. reach up and draw it right in front. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, behind the head. Reach back up and down in front. 4 more. Inhale, reach up and drop it behind. Reach up and down in front. Here we go. Inhale, reach up and drop behind and up. And here we go. Inhale, 2 more. And back up. Beautiful. Last one. And back in front. Whoo, very nice. All right, let's put the foam roller down for a second. And we are going to do these nice little stretches for kind of beginning of our downward dog. So you're going to put your foam roller in the top part of your mat, and you're going to have both hands on the foam roller. All right, and we're just gonna, let's do some heel raises. So come up onto your heels and come back down. 2 and back down. 3, squeeze the glutes and back down. 4, squeeze and back down. 5, squeeze and back down. 6, squeeze and back down. Beautiful. And now we're just going to step back halfway, and I want you to bring your head in between the arms, and you've got this nice little flat back. My knees are going to be bent slightly, and I'm just going to kind of straighten them as I reach my small of my back to the ceiling. Reach the small of the back to the ceiling. I feel my abdominals pulling in right now. Breathing into that, holding it. Reaching the arms, stretching underneath those armpits, really pushing the hips back, and then slowly come forward with the arms and then step up. Beautiful. Shake out the arms a little bit, roll the shoulders back. 2, 3, 4, roll forward. 2, 3, and 4. We're going to do that again. Hands on top. This time with our ankle raises, I want the heels together, the feet apart. We're going to do 6 of these. So you're going to inhale, exhale, reach up with those heels, and then come back down. And here's 2, and back down. And 3, and back down. Reach up nice and tall. 4, and back down. And here's 5, and back down. 6, and back down. Beautiful. Turn the feet to the parallel. And now we're just going to step back, left leg first, right leg, and then slide into that nice little flat back and draw the lower back up to the ceiling. Maybe your knees are bent slightly, and then you straighten them. Reach, lengthen, reach, lengthen. Breathe into that. See what feels good to you. You're kind of pushing your hamstrings back. The arms are forward. And then slightly bend and lift up. Foam roller comes to a tilt and we walk forward. Shake it out. All right. We're going to do a nice little downward dog where we're going to start with that foam roller right in front of us, where we are at the back of our mat. So you're going to inhale, exhale, roll on down, chin to chest, forward fold. And now you're going to roll that foam roller out as far as it feels pretty good. Hands on top of that foam roller. You're in a nice little downward dog. I'm going to let the foam roller go. I'm going to have it in between my body,
my hands and my feet, and I'm going to put my hands down onto the mat. And now I'm going to do some nice little bicycling where I'm bending opposite knee, straightening the opposite leg, feeling my left heel into the mat, stretching that right hip. And now I'm going to switch. Maybe I'm going to move my hands a little bit. I always say find your dog on your mat where it feels pretty good to you. You're not dumping into those hands. You're not dumping into the shoulders. The weight is towards the back of your legs, hips. Weight isn't forward, it's back. Breathing in, finding your nice little pedal, your bicycle, whatever feels good to you. Beautiful. And then just pause a moment, both heels down, downward dog. Look in between those knees. Lift up the kneecaps. Roll the shoulders out. Spread the fingertips apart. Downward dog. And now look forward and let's come down to a plank. Plank pose. Plank pose. We like plank pose. Plank is where we want to have our hips up slightly. You don't want to have them way up, but you don't want to have them down. So bring them halfway, push the heels back, shoulders right above those wrists, shoulders right above the wrists. And now we're just going to do a little bit of marching. So the right knee comes in, comes back, left knee comes in and back, right, left, right, left. Here's 4, right, left, 5, left, 6, left. Let's do 10, 7, left, 8, and left side, 9, and left side, 10, and left side. And now stretch back up into your downward dog. Nice little marching. Walk the hands and feet towards each other. And then let that foam roller start to come on top of your toes. I'm going to hang one more minute here. Feels really good. And I'm just going to kind of roll up one vertebra at a time. The foam roller is right on the front of my legs. Last thing to come up is my head. I'm going to take the foam roller. I'm going to put it to the side a minute. And I'm going to come back down to the mat in a forward fold without the foam roller, okay? So we're gonna arms down alongside. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, roll on down. Beautiful. Walk the hands out like a little monkey and find your dog again on the mat. Let's now just stretch into this downward dog. Drop that head. Breathe in. And exhale. I'm going to come to bringing my knees down to the mat, and I'm going to fold back. I'm going to grab my foam roller. I'm going to come back into a child's pose and have my arms on top of my foam roller. You can have your legs together. They can be a couple inches apart. They can be a deep V, whatever your choice for child's pose. This feels really good. And I'm slowly going to roll up and let that foam roller come towards my knees. And now I'm going to kind of bring my knees together and sit up nice and tall. All right, my fingertips are on my foam roller. I'm just going to kind of roll out and then roll back. We're going to do 6 of these. So it's a nice intentional rolling out. Make sure your hips try to stay towards the heels, and then roll back using your abdominals to come on up. Roll out 3. And come on back.
Beautiful. Roll out 4.
And come on back.
And roll out 5. Last one. Here's 6.
Rolling out, pausing a moment. Open your arms a little bit to a V and see how that feels. You can't really put your head all the way down, or maybe some of you can, are super flexible. I'm super tight in my shoulders, so that kind of gives me a stopping point. And then I'm going to roll back.
Beautiful. And now I'm going to turn my foam roller to the right side. I have to move over a little bit on my mat. So I'm going to turn it to the right at an angle, and then I'm going to roll out here.
And I'm going to really feel that left side body getting a nice long stretch. And then I roll back.
Notice how I tuck my chin and I come up to a seated, nice and tall spine, rolling out 2.
And rolling back.
And here's 3.
And coming back.
And 4.
And coming back. 2 more.
Here's 5.
Coming back.
And 6.
And rolling back.
And now we're going to turn that foam roller over to the left side to have a nice left angle here. All right. This, we're going to work that right side of the body, stretching it out. Roll on out 1.
And then come on back.
It's a nice little pause, hesitation, rolling out
2. And come on back.
I'm squeezing my legs, using my abdominals, rolling out 3.
And exhale.
And here's 4.
And coming on back.
And 5. And 6.
And coming on back.
Using the foam roller in yoga class is a great way for some therapy, some fascia therapy, some opening. So I am going to do a nice little pigeon, and we're going to, so as you can see, I'm on all 4s, and I'm just going to take my right leg and cross it over in front, put my hands in front, and I'm going to try to have a little bit of a area where I can come up onto that right hip a little bit, lifting up the left knee off the mat. And then I kind of come back and just roll on the top of that shin, the side of the shin, I should say, not the top, the side of the shin. And you can pause at any moment and maybe turn that right knee a little bit more. Sometimes people bring, let's see if it will work, bring the right leg in front of the foam roller, and then you have even a deeper stretch here. You can come on up on your hands on, and I really feel that in my psoas. I'm also shifting that knee back towards the foam roller. Whew, yeah. Breathing into it, allowing space, allowing time, space, movement, breath. And then I'm going to come in front with my hands, and now I'm going to lift that right leg back over the foam roller. And we're going to do that on the left side. So I'm going to take that left leg and I'm going to cross it over like pigeon.
onto the foam roller. And do a nice little rolling out of the shin first, which feels quite lovely. Whew. And then rolling into that left hip a little bit, which feels good. I am also rolling my ankle, the top of that ankle, the side of the ankle. And now I'm going to take that left leg and bring it in front of the foam roller. Yep. Woo. Stretching that right leg nice and long. Coming up onto the roller with my hands. Finding that stretch. I'm drawing my pelvis back also, which feels pretty darn good. And having that left leg in front, lifting my head up, lifting my chest up a little bit, using the foam roller to kind of come up a little bit higher. Breathing into that, feeling that beautiful stretch in my hip flexor. Maybe my left foot is flexed. Woo. Yeah. All right. Hands come in front of the foam roller, curling the right toes under to lift my hips up. And then I've got to bring this left foot in front, in back of the foam roller. Whew. Ooh, yeah. Some tight hips, but it's always good to try different stuff to open up the hip flexors. All right. Let's do, I haven't done this in a while, where we sit on the foam roller. We're going to do some more therapeutic rolling. And you're sitting on it, your hands will be behind you, and you're going to take the right leg, cross it over the left knee, and now lift a little bit so that you are on your right hip. The right knee points down to the mat, and now you're just going to roll back and forth on the foam roller, allowing that knee to drop down towards the ground. Maybe you're making some little circles with it. Maybe you're feeling that glute medius in there that's saying ow, ouch, ouch. Whew, yes, it's tight in there. Feels good though. Haven't done this in a while. Foam rolling is so yummy. All right, and now come back to center, take that leg off, and we're going to switch left ankle on the right. And like I said, lift up a little bit, turn that left knee towards the mat, and then you're going to roll on into that left buttocks. This side isn't as tender, but I can still feel it, and like I do a little bit of rolling. Knee comes closer to the mat and then back. I like to find where there needs a little more juice in the fascia there. And you kind of want to go from hip all the way to kind of femur, pelvis area. You don't necessarily want to roll over the bones. Beautiful. That's good stuff. All right. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to come down on the foam roller, and I'm going to come over to where I'm going to be on the right side of my hip and my IT band. So I'm sitting on the foam roller on my right side, and I'm going to come down onto my forearm, and I'm just going to roll up and down on the IT band, on the side. I have the top of the leg guiding that, taking a little bit of the pressure off so it's not so hurtful. You want to kind of roll from one end all the way to the other, and you're trying to keep your spine nice and long. And then we're going to switch that to the other side, to the left side. It's a little bit of a therapeutic yoga class today. We'll get to some abdominal work. But I just feel like every now and then it's good. Once a week, roll your feet out, roll the muscles out. This side is super tight. It is not happy. Woo. Trying to go all the way up and down. All right, beautiful. And now I'm going to come down to my butt. And the foam rollers underneath the knees. You're going to lift up and you're going to do the back side, your hamstrings. And if it feels okay, you turn the toes in and then you turn the toes out, either way, or just keep them on top. The thing that's challenging is you got to keep your butt off the mat. So you're using your arm strength to lift that butt off the mat. All right, let's go down to our calves. And you can do one at a time. And you kind of roll them around to the right and to the left. You see my foot moving. I'm kind of getting in between. You know, there's just not one calf muscle. There's a couple of them, and you want to get in between. Kind of, they don't call them rivers, but it's like gullies in between where there's a lot of fascia and a lot of, you know, movement of the muscles interacting with each other. And it's good to kind of floss that out. And I'm going to switch to my left calf. And I'm using that right foot to lift my butt up. And I'm rolling back and forth. And trying to get all the way from one point to the other point of that calf. And it just feels good. Feels like I like that word flossing. Feels like I'm getting in between and really getting the nerves moving. All right, last thing with the foam roller with the legs is we're going to do our quads. So this is always fun. And you're going to lay down on the foam roller at your hip, below your hip, and then you're going to roll from the hip all the way to the top of the kneecap. And this is quite yummy. This is my favorite because the quadricep is a big, huge quadrant of muscles, and they seem to get super tight, as well as the hamstrings with people. And this is so good. Like I'm turning my toes in and then I'm turning them out, trying to get the inside and outside. And then you can just roll on the top. Ooh, all right. Coming back to where we're going to have the foam roller behind us, which is opening up the thoracic, which is quite lovely, where I just had to have a little sip of my oolong tea. So I'm going to come down onto my foam roller, and I'm going to put my hands, clasp my fingertips together behind my head, cradle my head. My elbows are in my peripheral, lifting up the belly, and you're just going to roll all the way to the top of the shoulders
And then you're going to roll all the way down. We're not going to go all the way where legs are extended. We'll do that in a minute. We're just going to roll, and you kind of curl up as you come down below the rib cage. Yeah. And I'm rolling. I got to use my glutes, my abdominals to do this, because as you see, my butt is off the ground and I'm pulling my heels into the mat to draw myself back up. So I'm pulling in. I'm kind of in a tabletop. And now see if you can extend your legs out super long. And hold it there a second. And then now draw all the way to the top of the shoulders. Maybe your hands are on the roller for a second there. You're looking up at the ceiling. And now extend the legs nice and slow over the shoulders, scapula, extending, feet, toes up to the ceiling. And now come on back. Let's do 2 more. And that was 1. And now here's 2. And then come back. And now draw the butt down. And we're just going to have the foam roller right at your shoulder, your scapula. Okay. And we're just going to lift up that right foot, and we're going to twist, opening up the right elbow. Left elbow tries to draw towards that right knee, and then you bring it back down. And when we twist and we go the opposite, and then we come back down. Here's number 2, and back down, 2, and back down. Really open up that chest. And here's 3, and back down, and 4, 4, and 5, and 5, and 6, and 6. And then back to center, roll on down, and you've got your neck supported on the foam roller, which is quite lovely. I'm lengthening. I'm going to lengthen my right leg and then lengthen my left leg. Pause here a moment. Flex the feet. The toes are pointed to the ceiling. I'm going to look over to the right, and I'm going to look down the foam roller with my eyes. And then I'm going to come back to center, and then I'm going to roll over to the left, looking straight down my foam roller. I'm massaging, and we go over to the right, and then come back nice and slow to the left. Oh, that feels so good in the occipital bone back there to the right. And to the left. Think about your chin coming up a little bit as you roll, ceiling, and then to the right. Last set, rolling to the left. Beautiful. All right, we're going to bend our knees. And now we're going to draw the knees up. Hands go behind them with a little bit of rotation, and roll on up. All right. We're just going to have our balancing right here. I've got my toes pointed towards the mat. They're not touching. And I'm just balancing right here. That's all I'm doing. All right. And now see if you can stretch the right leg in tabletop, and then the left leg in tabletop, and then release the arms. Hands are forward, legs together, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hands go behind, and then put the right foot down and the left foot down, and now extend out, and then reach up nice and tall and do a nice little forward bend. Easy forward bend. Beautiful. Okay. One of the other things I love to do, and we're just going to do this first, we're going to lay down on our mats, and I want you to visually map what is touching on the back side of your body on the mat. Your shoulders, your head, your butt, your ribs, maybe your butt, maybe your hamstrings, maybe the calf, your heel, arms. I don't know if your bicep or your backside of your arm is touching the elbow, the forearm, the palm, the backside of the hand. Are all fingertips touching? Do you have your palm down? Do you have it up? All right. Now turn either to the right or the left, and we're going to come up, and now we're going to lay on our foam roller, which is going to be yummy. So put the foam roller in the center of your mat lengthwise, and put your bum, tailbone at the very end, and you're just going to kind of bring your arms out in front, and we're just going to do a nice little C curve, rolling down Pilates, rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time. And if your head is off a little bit, shift yourself down on the foam roller so that your entire torso and the head is supported. Hands go out to the side, little spider hands, and you're going to roll from side to side, back and forth, massaging both sides of that spinal cord, getting into the little knots. I can hear some up here in my upper thoracic. I'm feeling the nice zhuzh down on my tailbone on either side, my buttocks. And I'm really trying to focus on my ribs on either side of the ribs. Yep. But where the most tension I feel is right in between those scapula. And it just feels yummy to get in there and rock side to side. All right, come to center. And now we're going to raise the arms up to the ceiling, palms face each other, and then drop the shoulders down and squeeze the foam roller, and then reach up again. Lower belly presses into the foam roller, and then draw the shoulders down and squeeze that foam roller. Here we go. 3rd set, reaching up, and then come on down and squeeze. 4th set, and squeeze. I love it. All right. We're going to have bookends or cactus arms. So elbows bent, palms face up to the ceiling. And you're going to draw the elbow and the palm together right in front of you, and then open up. We'll do 6. Draw in 2. And open up. And draw in 3. And open up. Try not to move the foam roller. Draw in 4. And open up. Nice and steady. Draw in 5. And open up. Last one, 6. And open up. Draw the arms down alongside of you by your hips. And you're going to lift them up. So the left hand is by the hip. The right arm is going to go really up and above your ear. Reach them apart and then switch. Marching arms. Reach apart and then switch. The feet are really engaged into the mat. And you're just finding your cadence. And I want you to just switch those arms and lengthen them. When they're the farthest point away from each other, lengthen. And we'll do 4 more. Here's 2. Breathing. And here's 3. And here's 4. And last one, or no, here's 5. Whoop. And here's 6. When you do a count, you have to take into consideration right side, left side. And then back up, and then bend those elbows and put them down, and you can kind of wash it out if you want to, rocking side to side. Foam roller work is the best. All right. I think I have to move my roller a little bit to the left of my mat because I want to do some leg stuff. So I'm not going to be totally in the center. Coming back up and back onto my foam roller. And now I'm going to raise the right leg up and then the left leg up. And I want to find my balance here. My knees are touching, and I'm just going to tap the right toe down and bring it up, and tap the left foot down and bring it up. I'm using my abdominals. Right side, left side, right side, left side, right side, left side, right side. The whole thing is you don't want to move the foam roller. And that's why you're really using all the smaller little muscles that connect to the bigger ones that make us super strong and steady and balanced. Lengthen and strengthen. We have 2 more each side. And here's the right side, left side, 1 more, right side, and left side. Beautiful. I'm going to draw my knees in. Woo! Flex my feet, point the toes, maybe do some little ankle circles. And now I'm going to stretch that right foot up, left foot up, point the toes, flex the feet, point the toes, and flex the feet. Point the toes, flex the feet. And now I want you to open up the feet and the heels are connected, and make yours a little bit of a diamond as you draw the feet down slightly, and maybe even a little more than slightly, like almost tabletop, and then really push the legs together, a bit of a 90-degree, and then release, make a diamond, and then push the legs together. I'm really using these lower abdominal area. Bend the knees in and push out. Bend the knees in 4 and press them out nice and strong. Bend the knees in 5 and press out. Ooh. Last one, 6, and press out. And now feet together, draw them up to the ceiling. Open up those toes again and open up the feet to a deep V. Really flex the feet and bring the heels together. Open up the feet to a V, turn the toes towards the mat and draw together. Open up again, 3, and draw together. Open again, 4, and draw together. Open up 5 and draw together. This is abductors, so good. Last one, 6, beautiful. And now you're just going to bend those knees in, small little ball, and then put the right foot down and then the left foot down. And again, if you want to just kind of wash it out, go side to side. Good work on the abdominals. yoga with a foam roller today, Pilates with a foam roller, yoga Pilates. Yoga, you'd be surprised how many yoga teachers, as we're aging and getting older, we're more focused on the core in our yoga movements and poses, because we know that's our stabilizer. That's where all our power, intention, strength comes from, to walk on the earth, to be here, to age gracefully, spiritually, mindfully. All right, I am going to roll off of my foam roller and come to my mat. And so I'm just going to push the foam roller off to the side, extend my legs nice and long onto the mat. And I want you to revisit that moment where what was touching on the mat. I feel like my whole backside is flatter, like everything is touching on the mat now. Like it was just a little bit of the tops of the scapula, and now I feel like my whole scapula is touching, the whole shoulder, my ribs, my lower back, my hips, even my butt, my hamstrings, back of my knees. Yeah, it feels good. All right, let's roll over to the right side, and we're going to come to all fours. Let's do some nice hip opener, hip circles, I should say, to the right with the hips, roll it back, and to the left, to the right, and roll. And we're doing two more. And last one, because we're going to switch it. We're going to go over to the left and to the left. Play with it, move, bend those elbows, whatever feels good to you. Beautiful. All right, let's come to center. I'm going to curl my toes under. I'm going to shift back my weight onto those heels, lift up my toes and do a nice little bear pose, holding it here, and now I'm going to straighten those legs. I'm going to stay high heel. Stay high heel. Are your palms on the mat? Open up the feet slightly. Stay high heeled. We did those heel raises in the beginning. You're strong. Woo! And I'm slowly going to come down. I'm going to step forward with that left foot. I want to do a triangle and a tree pose before we end class. From the bottom is your triangle. You can do it. From the bottom. You come from the bottom into your pose, and maybe you get a little bit taller. Maybe that hand is on a block. Maybe it's on your shin. Maybe it's on the inside. Some people like to do this because you got to hold it. You got to use those legs. Use those legs to hold it. And now we're just going to pinwheel. Right hand down to the mat. Left hand. Nice little runner stretch. Beautiful. Kick that left leg back to the right leg. And now we're going to do triangle on the right side. So I'm going to step forward with that right foot in between the hands, turning the left foot out. From the bottom of your mat, go into your triangle. Twist, open up, lengthen. Again, if you want to release and put that hand on the inside and really open up that left arm, left shoulder, breathing into your triangle. Pinwheel that left hand down to the mat, right hand, go into your runner's stretch. Kick that right leg back to the left leg. Let's wash it out with a nice little chaturanga. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, push up. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog.
Walk the hands and feet together. And then slowly roll up. We're going to prepare ourselves for a nice little balance pose. So I'm going to find the timer. And here it is, 1 minute. We're going to be on the right leg, lifting up the left leg. Okay, so I'm going to come a little forward and I'm going to start the timer. Gently begin, 1 minute. You've got your right foot, and then you kind of gently pick up that left one. Put it wherever it feels good. Maybe it's down by the ankle, the calf, the knee, or maybe you have it on the inside of your right leg. If you fall out, just come back in. 1 minute tree pose. No slouching. And release. Shake out that standing leg. Shake out that standing leg. And now begin left leg, lifting up the right. Find where the tree feels good to you. Think about rooting in and reaching up the tree of life. Grounding, lengthening, balancing. Strong on the standing leg. Like a flamingo. Ostrich. My yogi used to say you can do anything for 1 minute. Anything. And it's true. 1 minute. And release. See? There we go. 1 minute. We got a triangle in, we got a tree in, and now we are just going to come down onto your mat. Maybe you're on a bolster, a meditation pillow, a blanket. I'm going to grab my little bolster. Chatra. I love this company, and I saw that they just went out of business, so it's a bummer. Anyway, let's come down to a seated position. The last of the class. Sometimes I like to do Shavasana, but I feel like we were all so enjoying that restorative, wonderful foam roller class that we can do a couple seconds here, a couple minutes of, not minutes, but a few, maybe 60 seconds of just some centering, coming down, sitting, legs crossed, if that feels good to you. Close your eyes. Your spine should be super nice and tall and just beautiful. The energy, the rooting of your chakras and the breathing, the breath work that you did, and just the strengthening that we worked on with our core. And just closing our eyes and reflecting on the fact that you joined class today. You showed up for yourself. You nurtured yourself. You gave yourself the breath and the strength with you and your body and your mat. That's all it is. 60 minutes, it's not that long. To give yourself the awesome benefits for the rest of the day and the weekend. Breathe in through the nostrils, out through the mouth.
In again through the nostrils. Out through the mouth. Place your hands in prayer. Maybe rub them back and forth, up and down. Gratitude for class today, gratitude for my breath, for my strength. Foam roller class, 60 minutes. Join me on the mat Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Namaste.